Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson I will demonstrate a typical quote-to-cash cycle using the license and subscription app embedded in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain. So the process for quoting your subscriptions begins just like any other quoting process in finance and operations. So you go to sales and marketing, all quotations, you create a new sales quote. We will do it for a customer in this case and click OK. As you can see, the sales quote header is created, and at this point it is not marked as a subscription order. So let's create a subscription quote line, and if we try saving the record at this point, it will tell us that it needs a minimum of 20 users to sell this subscription plan, and that is master data which is set up at the product level. So here we see that any subscription metadata and master data that you set up is also enforced in the standard sales quote form. We can see, so let's fix this quantity issue here. Let's set it to 20, and here you can see some information about our quote line, and in this case we always have to assume that we are quoting for the first cycle of the subscription, in this case for a month. If you would like to quote for a quarter or for a half year or for a year, then we set up the date range accordingly. But in this case I am quoting for a billing cycle of 1 month, and the unit price is inherited from the trade agreement as per standard Dynamics 365. So now we'll go ahead and save this record, and no errors now because the 20 minimum is satisfied, and as you can see the quote became a subscription. Now I will go ahead and send the quotation to the customer, and I will click OK, and that is sent, and then I can follow up and confirm the subscription, and here I can see that it is also confirmed. But in this case, since the button is now confirm subscription, due to the fact that it is a quote, instead of creating a sales order like in standard Dynamics 365, the process actually now created a subscription plan for this customer. And we can view this by going to the header, to the customer, and the customer card loads. We can go to the cell pane at the top, subscription management, manage subscriptions. And in this case it is showing us the subscriptions for this specific customer. So this is an enhanced cockpit view which is focused on one customer, and as you can see this is the line that we just created, and it's already published for us, of course, because the customer has confirmed that the quote and that he wants to subscribe to our product. So we can go ahead and create our actions via the master process to complete the quote to cash cycle. I have my action, I can firm it. I firmed it. My sales order is automatically created. You can see the sales order number here without even going to the sales form, and there I can post my sales order. Now it moves to a historical tab. Besides the sales order number, now I have a sales invoice which is also posted, and as you can see also on the plan line, the original date, start and date were inherited from the quote. We have a monthly billing period, and now since we already executed one billing cycle, the next start and end date are now the 1st September to 30th September. So here we can see that the subscription plan line obeyed the cadence we defined in our quote. If this part is optional, but you can go through your sales order here, just to prove the quote to cash cycle. The sales order is in status invoiced, as you can see here, and we can also see the invoice journal that was generated, and there it is. We're invoicing the customer that money, and then when the customer pays, of course, we follow the standard Dynamics 365 process of creating a proposal for a payment journal for that customer. Now I would like also to show another type of quotation for the perpetual and enhancement plans type of subscriptions. So I will create a new quotation for the same customer. There you go, that's the header. And in this case I will select perpetual enhancement plan product. Let's select this one, and in this case now I have some more options. So since this is perpetual, there's no end date, so there's a start date but no end date because it's perpetual. But there's also the possibility to select a maintenance item, which is different from my perpetual item, or you can leave it the same, and perpetual maintenance start date and end date, which by default starts from the next month and is for a 1 year, because usually enhancement plans are for a minimum of 1 year. Then here you can set up your enhancement plan %, which is the percentage of enhancement over the total value of the license. Let's say it's 16 in this case, and in this case I will decide to select this maintenance item. The maintenance item is different from the main item being sold. So there I can save. Once again, it's been switched to a subscription, and in this case now if I send my quotation, the software automatically realizes that it needs to calculate 16% enhancement, and this is shown here in the second line. So if we click OK, now we have two lines, one for the main license and one for the maintenance. Again, just like in the first example I showed you, we can now follow the standard process of follow-up, generate and confirm the subscription, not a sales order again in this case, because we're dealing with a subscription. We can click that button and click OK, and there our quote is confirmed and changed into a plan. And again, if we go to the header, to the customer, and to the manage subscriptions, right at the bottom of the grid there we find our new perpetual enhancement plan, which is published starting on the 1st of August. You can run the master process, and there we see two action lines being created, one for the main product, for the perpetual product, which is without a due date, and one for the maintenance, which is 16%, and which is following the maintenance dates that we set up on the quote. After that you would proceed like in the first example, firm the actions, post them, receive the payment, and there you have the complete quote to cash cycle. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. It is a very quick walkthrough of the quote to cash cycle in the license and subscription app for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations Finance Supply Chain. Thank you very much. Catch you later in another lesson.